welcome to another episode of First Look Final Word. Slightly different episode this week, all right, Trevor?
Yeah, definitely. We're doing something new called what was the name we settled on? Was it like Classics
I don't know. You probably whatever we figured out, that's what the name will be called.
Yeah,
so you guys they'll already know. But some sort of classics.
We'll add it in post. It's called. Leave a pause there.
Yeah, I'll insert like a digital voice.
Yeah, so we thought that every now and then we could revisit an old classic, and something that we've done before kind of by going out to theater, but this time we're recording at home, and we thought this might be a good opportunity to bring some guests on into the show while we look at some old favorites. And this week we have our first returning guest.
Right.
You might have heard his little chuckles already. Justin, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Justin. Thanks for letting me be here again.
Yeah, well, the fans demanded you come back.
Yes, be less talking about doing this week, though.
They said, we want the guy that hates Baz Luhrmann and British Columbia.
Okay, it's probably best if we keep what I said about Baz on the down low.
Yeah, he's looking for you.
It's just going to be a recurring theme, like Trevor's hatred for Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah. So we got to get like at least 3 directors on the list now.
I guess I need to pick one that I hate.
Yeah, you gotta pick your enemy.
All right, I'll start thinking about it. You guys better beware out there. You're going to go on the
When you have people on again, you gotta just go around and ask people who their most hated director is and how far would they go to ruin that director's life.
It's not a bad gimmick to get attention.
Right? I think we're onto something here, to be fair.
Yeah. If you hate someone like who is online enough, like they might find out about it, and then you can start a beef.
Beefs are always good for engagement, right?
Yeah.
We need to be getting viral.
Any publicity is good publicity. Just ask Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, goodness. Anyways.
Anyway, good to have you, Justin. Thanks for coming.
Good to have you back. It's always controversial. But yeah, this week we're looking at the classic Jackie Chan movie Police Story.
Yes. Yeah, we transparently we went to see this a few days ago, and that's kind of what kicked off this idea for this episode. So we, rather than listening to us drive there and back, this is more of a retrospective versus a immediate reaction. So like we said, new style for this week. But yeah, let us know what you think, guys. You want to hear more of this kind of stuff, or would you rather stick to the main sort of theme of the pod? But I think there's probably room for both, right?
Yeah, like I said, probably not all that often we would do this, but podcast is still fairly new, so it's nice to kind of experiment with different formats and stuff.
Yeah, that's why. Definitely tell us what you think, guys. Let us know what you want to hear more of, what you want to hear less of. Oh, more Justin, less Pete. Just let us know.
So, did we want to start with giving our background with this movie and Jackie Chan in general? I don't think we had a chance to talk much at the theater, Justin. Like, had you seen Police Story before, and were you a fan of Jackie Chan?
Yeah, so I guess my history with Jackie Chan is the first thing I think I saw him in was Super Cop, which at the time I didn't know was actually Police Story 3, because I don't think the North American VHS package even had like Police Story 3 on it. I think it was just called Super Cop here.
Yeah, I think it was just called Super Cop, and I think it was only available like in the dub. Like I think the VHS was dub only.
I believe that's true. It's such a long time ago, I don't even remember. But
yeah.
Other than that, it was just through high school, and I guess before high school, TBS just would show Rush Hour and Rush Hour 2 like every single day. So if you ever want to see Jackie Chan, you could definitely get your fill. So yeah, I was a fan of Rush Hour. I was a fan of Shanghai Noon, not so much Nights. And yeah, I guess I was more familiar with his North American work before getting into his Asian stuff, with the exception of Super Cop.
Yeah, like the first Jackie Chan movie that I remember seeing was Rush Hour 2. Rented it with a friend in
Second
grade
one,
8.
wow.
Oh, not TBS.
Yeah, like just rented it when it first came out, and I thought it was a hilarious movie. Although I was already like aware of Jackie Chan, had like seen some various clips that were kind of out in the ether. I think just kind of aware of him as a movie star. Like Jackie Chan was an institution. Like everyone knew who he was, even if you hadn't really seen his movies. So I think that was the first one I ever saw, and then like in university kind of just got into like his actual like Hong Kong stuff. So watched the Police Story, the first 3 a while ago, and kind of mixed them up all in my head, and then watched most of his big ones so far. How about you, Pete?
Yeah, so similar story to you guys. Apart from I never actually went back and watched the classics. Like I've got a huge gap when it comes to Jackie Chan, which I don't really understand why, because I love Jackie Chan. But like I was the same, I sort of came to it in the 90s. I think the first movie I saw was Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh yeah,
I'm just thinking that was amazing, and the end credit song for that movie is a song by an Irish band called Ashton, who I loved growing up. It's
okay.
It sings about Jackie Chan, so they played that over the end credits, and I was like, "This is amazing! This is the best movie ever." It's got Ash in the
So did you like the band before the movie?
Yeah, I knew the song before the movie. So I mean, I knew about, like you were saying, I knew Jackie Chan. He's like a cultural phenomenon, but I hadn't really seen any of his movies because I was like, I was young enough to be like, I'm not watching a dub, like a subtitle movie or a dub movie. I was like, I'm just because. But then when he did his Hollywood stuff, then I started jumping onto it. Like, I was a huge Rush Hour fan. Like, loved it. Loved the second one. And similar to Justin, loved Shanghai Noon, which doesn't get enough love, I don't think. I think that's a great movie.
I honestly forgot about it until you guys mentioned it.
It's like peak Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan. Worked so well together. I love that movie. I mean, I haven't seen it for a long time. I don't know if I watched it now, I would have the same affection for it. But when I was
I don't know.
When I was a teenager, I loved it.
Well, speaking of songs about Jackie Chan, did you guys ever see the cartoon?
I never did. I've seen clips of it, but I've never actually sat and watched an episode of it.
Yeah, it was. I think around the time it came out, it was around, I don't know, 12 or 13. So kind of aging out of that kind of show. But I do remember the end credits had a song about Jackie Chan by Wheatus. It was Wheatus.
Wheatus?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a throwback.
I didn't realize that show was that old, or did they get just like an aging Wheatus to do the theme song?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just Wheatus is Teenage Dirtbag, like that band, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they did anything else, did they?
Oh, they did Chan's the Man for Jackie
Chan's the Man. Yeah, I just googled it. It's just the ending theme for the Jackie Chan Adventures. Very, very cool.
Maybe as like a future Patreon tier, we can have it like if we raise enough money, Pete will sing the song from the end of Rumble in the Bronx, and Justin will sing the song to Jackie Chan Adventures. Is that the show?
Yeah.
Jackie Chan Adventures. Yeah.
All right, I'll put on my best Wheatus guy voice.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard it, look up the Ash song Kung Fu. It's amazing.
Okay. I'll add it to my playlist for my morning commute tomorrow.
Yeah, but I don't know. I never had the phase that you guys had where like I jumped into the old stuff. So I'd never seen Police Story before. That was the first time seeing it. Like I'd obviously seen like I've seen like all the compilations of the best stunts from all of his films and stuff. Like I've seen those over the years, but I've never actually sat and watched a movie start to finish. So that's the first time I've actually seen it.
Got a lot of good stuff to watch.
I know, right? I feel like I say that every time we do a podcast.
That it kind of gets into our question of the week, because we're going to say like what where our favorite Jackie Chan movies and like what are our favorite stunts. Is like the best stunts aren't necessarily in the best movies, although my list is pretty much like my favorite movies of his.
Right.
So you mentioned like Shanghai Noon. Is that your favorite Jackie Chan movie?
I don't know if I would say it's my favorite. I mean, no, it's tricky because I could say favorite because of like the nostalgia of it. Like that's probably the one I've seen the most, maybe just because. Although maybe not Rush Hour. I watched Rush Hour a lot when I was little, when I was young too. But I feel like you can't really say it's your favorite. I think I'd probably.
You can say it's your favorite.
But yeah, I don't know. I've not seen it for so long.
Yeah.
But you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say Shanghai Dude. Favorite Jackie Chan movie.
Well, I'm a big fan of Legend of Drunken Master.
Mhm.
And I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before when we did our episode on the Iron Claw. Like the premise of the movie is he gets drunk and unlocks like superhuman fighting abilities. But then I also really like the Project A movies. I kind of like kung fu in like a Victorian setting is really fun to watch. I guess that's Shanghai Noon too, or no, that's Shanghai Nights.
Right. Yeah.
And then like I've always liked the police story movies, but I was never like super high on them until we actually watched it in the theater. And I'm like, well, maybe my favorite's Police Stories. That was
It was very good. It was really good to see it on a big screen like that. It was very cool.
So how about you, Justin?
Yeah. Well, like Pete, I'm struggling with this one a little bit because I have a head pick and a heart pick.
Right.
I think my heart pick could be Rush Hour, just because I've seen it so much and I used to love it, but I have not seen that in an extremely long time. But I think the head pick and maybe my actual favorite is Super Cop. Yeah, I think it's Super Cop.
Okay, and maybe segueing into favorite stunts. Is your favorite stunt from Super Cop? Is it the helicopter and train?
Oh, that's so cool. But no, I think okay. Would you consider the ladder from First Strike to be a stunt?
I would, and I think that ladder fight is so goddamn cool, and it really encapsulates everything that's great about Jackie Chan's choreography, and that he just uses like the random things that are in the room with him to fight in such creative ways.
Yeah, it's like very technical fighting, and it's comedy all rolled into one. So it is Jackie Chan, but yeah, all right, okay. If we're gonna say the ladder counts, then I'm picking the ladder.
Why not, right?
Sorry, are you saying the ladder is in the second thing you mentioned, or the ladder as in the thing you climb up?
Yeah, is it got a D or is it T?
The ladder fight, full stop.
Okay, the ladder fight you mentioned. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think for my favorite stunt, and it's not a movie that I've actually seen. Like I routinely watch like some stunt videos of his online, and I really should see this movie. But it's called Who Am I? And it's him just like falling off of a like kind of like running along a skyscraper that's on an angle, and he's just like falling to his death for about a minute.
Absolutely terrifying.
Like it just like I watched that stunt all the goddamn time. Apparently the movie is not like great, which is why I haven't really kind of bothered to go and watch it, though I should probably just go ahead and do that. But the stunt is truly incredible. Like, and I have watched how they've done it, and I still can't I still can't get over it. Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, why is he doing these things?
Well, just remember, he will never ask a stuntman to do something he wouldn't. So you can feel pretty safe being on his stunt crew.
I don't know if that really helps though. It's like, don't worry, Jackie would do it. It's like that doesn't still move with a lot of confidence. He's broken like every bone in his body.
But how about you, Pete? Did you mention a favorite stunt?
I didn't know. I was gonna go for one that's not anything like no bells and whistles or anything, but I'm gonna go back to Rumble in the Bronx when he did a rooftop jump from that movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because it's like I say, it was the first time I'd seen him, and I just remember thinking this guy is insane, and like it's nothing flash or anything. It's just literally him jumping off a roof onto a balcony. He just legit did that.
It's like 15, 20 feet, like, and then there's no safety rope,
no nothing. He's just like, go jump.
And like, it's such a graceful goddamn jump too. Like, right. It looks so, like, it looks awesome.
Yeah, and I think the way they show, like, they almost like add on. I don't know if they do this in all these movies, but I know they do it in a lot where they just show like outtakes over the credits.
Yeah,
I remember them showing him doing that, and I'm just like, man, you're insane. Like, you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do that. Yeah. And like, he broke his leg on that movie as well, but jumping onto a hovercraft, it's just like you're nuts.
Have you guys seen the Project A jump off the roof?
I haven't seen that one. I don't think.
Oh, he like lands on his neck, man.
Yeah,
he's like lucky to be alive.
He's hanging off the clock tower, and then he falls through two canopies, and then he just like falls right on his head sideways, basically.
Jeez.
And then was he even injured there?
I thought that was one of his hospital visits. But,
okay, it makes sense. Like, it doesn't.
He
look
fainted
good.
after. I don't think he was taken to the hospital.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's psycho, absolute psycho.
That's why it's Jackie Chan and Buster Keaton kind of have to be like the top two stunt people, like, all time. Like, no one ever getting close to those two guys, because like they basically just didn't care if they died when they were filming these things. Like,
I was gonna say, I mean, I don't think anybody ever will now, right? Like, they wouldn't let people do that anymore.
Like, Tom Cruise would get the closest, but like he's still like it's very safe the way he does these things, like, while still being very dangerous. Like, driving a motorcycle off a ramp is an inherently very dangerous thing.
Which is the movie where he was on the skyscraper. He did something on the skyscraper.
That's Rogue Nation.
Is that Rogue Nation? Because I remember hearing a story.
No, that's Ghost Protocol. Yeah.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a story about that where he was on set with like the safety coordinator, and he was like, "You cannot do this. Like, this is too dangerous to do." And it's like, okay, and they just fired that guy. Got somebody else. Just fired the guy who said he couldn't do it, and hired the guy who said he could do it. It's like, man, this guy's insane. But yeah. Not as insane as Jackie Chan. Let's be clear.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, Cruise is the closest that we have, kind of, who's still like contemporarily doing these things, but it's still not really in the same level.
No. Like he does dangerous stuff, but you don't expect him to be in hospital.
Yeah, it's going to be impossible to insure anyone like that going forward. Like, right. Tom Cruise can get away with it because if you say no to Tom Cruise, you're fired. Yeah. But literally anyone else at this point, I don't think anyone has the clout just to say, I'm going to do this and insurance be damned,
Well, it's a very interesting question. Like, I wonder what goes on with the insurance for Tom Cruise, or he just like will...
I'm sure it's huge.
Self-insure himself or something. I don't know.
Just signs a waiver.
Well, he's got a whole church backing him, so
right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do we want to actually start diving into our experience with the movie?
Well, I just wanted to give, before we move on, I just wanted to give a shout out, because I always take any excuse I can to give a shout out to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles View and Mayhem.
were the stunts in that one really dangerous?
One of the great Jackie Chan performances.
Oh my god! I totally forgot that he was in that. Yeah,
He's great in that.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
And I heard they did model like a lot of the fighting off stuff that he did. Like he basically showed him how to model it.
I think we've mentioned that movie in like half of our episodes now.
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah.
Well, I think Pete tries to wedge it in wherever he can.
And also Kung Fu Panda, he's in that too.
Yeah,
You know, it's been so long since I've seen Kung Fu Panda that I don't remember that. Who does he play?
I couldn't even remember which character he is. He's one of the Furious Five. I think he's the monkey.
his late career stuff is pretty different, right? Like he's really toned it down, taken some different roles.
Did you guys see The Foreigner?
Oh, I've not. I really want to.
I have seen that, and I really liked it. It's like his it was like his Jerry Action movie. It's like his Taken. It was really good. I really liked it.
How old is that one?
It's not that old. Maybe 10 years or so. It's like him as an older guy.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess. Well, even 10 years, like that's the difference between him being 70.
Would he be like 70 now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he just turned 70 on like sometime in April.
Wow.
Really?
You know what? That 70 was a total guess. I had no idea. So I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, man.
Happy birthday, Jackie, if you listen.
Yeah.
I
Happy
guess,
birthday, Jackie. You got really weird and super into like the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah,
like, in your later years. I feel like we have to mention that he's become kind of a weird jerk in his older years, but
Yeah, well, it's a cautionary tale. Too many blows to the head through too many cool stunts just turns you into a CCP shill later in life.
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't we call out the Chinese Communist Party as like our third big
the director we hate.
So it's Kenneth Branagh, Baz Luhrmann, and the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, we've said it enough times now. We're probably going to be they're going to be listening in now.
Like
Oh yeah,
right?
say goodbye to all your Chinese listeners.
Yeah. That's a good question. I'm going to check.
Oh, they're
You guys vamp. I'm usually driving, so I don't get to look things up.
Yeah, I can't imagine we have a huge following in China. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Oh yeah, you never know. Yeah,
You never know. There are some Chinese listeners.
Okay,
Less
anymore,
less
again.
than 1%, though.
Okay, well, that's good. It's a big hit.
Yeah.
1% and nothing is still nothing. Should we get into police story then?
Sure.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think of the viewing experience?
I thought it was amazing. Because I'd never seen it before. I did as we were getting into it, I didn't realize how much of like how comedic it was. And like the first kind of like 10-15 minutes, I was like, is this are they trying to be like serious here? And obviously with big stunts, but then it quickly got into like, oh no, this is actually full on hilarious.
Yeah.
pretty quickly. But
Well,
I love.
It's like no other kind of like movie star is able to like kind of balance those tones that Jackie Chan is, and like no director really either. Like the action in it is so intense, and the violence in it is pretty graphic at times. Like and like when they're having that shootout, it like you feel like the real fear of the people who are just like scared of getting their heads blown off. But then like freaking Jackie just starts goddamn moonwalking for no reason at other parts in the movie, and it works. I have no idea why it works, but it's amazing.
Let's not discount Arnold's ability to blend action and comedy. Now it's a different kind of action, obviously, but I think he's the closest sort of Western star who can pull that
But
off.
like in the same movie though.
Well,
yeah, like maybe like a True Lies. That was pretty good.
Yeah, True Lies is an interesting.
Total Recall as well.
Total Recall, yeah, very true.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. Like Jackie Chan he'll poke fun at himself like all movie and not even care.
Yeah, he's just like like he goes from being like obviously like super competent, like, but then he just has like the smile of like such a goofball. Like, he's like totally just like emasculating himself throughout the movie.
I think that's one of the best parts of Jackie Chan, just the fact that like in a time of very muscly action men, he was not that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Justin. It's like that era of like action heroes. It was all like macho, like I have to look good all the time and win everything. And he's just like not that at all. He's just getting his ass beat up every 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, like even in like just like the Hong Kong scene, where like most of the kung fu stars are basically like depict themselves as like these godlike figures who just win all these incredible fights. Like Jackie Chan's fights are always like he is going up against like 8 guys. He's scared shitless. He's just like improvising his way through it, like just like barely surviving through ingenuity.
Yeah,
for sure.
And just sorry, going back to the whole viewing experience thing, like that is, I've never seen a kung fu movie in that setting before, like in an actual theater. Usually when I'm watching these things, watching them at home, because there's not a whole lot of demand, obviously, in to show those in theaters. But it's such a good feeling to just watch that with a bunch of other people who are so into it.
Yeah, no, like the audience was really generous, and I definitely left like on a bit of a high, because it's really kind of what's great about seeing a movie in a theater is like the audience around you can really ramp it up, and this was definitely a case. Like I can't remember the last time I saw a movie I described as a comedy in the theater.
Right.
And all the jokes were
They don't
landing.
do that many anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of does. It is a good showcase for like why the movie going experience is different, right? It's like some people don't seem to think it's worth doing, but like it's you don't get that experience anywhere else, no matter what kind of system you have at home or where you're watching it. Like actually being in that theater with all the people, it's a totally unique experience.
Yeah,
yep.
And like these showings, the way they're set up, right? Like it is people who want to go specifically for this movie, right? You're not getting people off the street who just want to go see whatever. It's people who were there, going at what times, like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock on a Friday, just to go their way to see Police Story specifically. So it's a really, really good experience.
Yeah, earlier this year, Pete and I went to go see The Shining, which is a movie that I'd seen a lot of times, but then, and I already loved the movie, but I love it even more now that I've actually seen it in a theater, like kind of getting the sound design element of it a little bit more. And like it was a very similar experience for this movie. Like I said, I didn't really have Police Story near the top of my list for like Jackie Chan movies, and now like it's probably at number 1, though. It just makes me think I have to watch more of his movies.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like
I'm like
every time I watch one, you'd be like, "This is the best."
Yeah, definitely riding high on a recency bias.
Yeah. And if you guys want to hear more about our thoughts on The Shining, go check that episode out. It's on the feed.
Yeah, I will spoil it by saying that we both liked it.
Yeah, spoilers. It's good.
So I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about like some of our favorite sequences in the movie?
Okay. Yeah. It starts off so strong. Like that scene in the village, like the shootout, like you were saying, you can feel it. Like I forget the character's name. He's such a minor character, but he's kind of just like shaking because he's so scared.
Yeah, like
the guy who pees his pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he blows a guy away and then pees his pants. Like
That's what I mean. Like
it's
that's
fun,
is
but
that,
it's
is
very
that comedy or is it not? Because
like,
you can see it either way, right? It's like that is really dark and it's kind of horrible, but at the same time, still pretty funny.
And it's not very often like you see someone in an action movie where they're like very conscious of the fact that like I could get my head blown off. Like if I stick my head out beyond this corner, like I could just die.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I hadn't remembered anything from that opening part in the village, and as it was like opening up over it, I'm just like, wow, it looks really flimsy. Like, are they planning on just like destroying it here?
Yeah, they sure are.
And like, yeah, they sure did. So I'd like to know about like the production of that. Like, if they just built that entire thing to destroy it, or if it was just like, you know, an old thing that was kind of set for demolition anyways. I don't know, but it was pretty cool watching like 3 cars just drive through all those like little shed things that they had there.
Yeah, they definitely destroyed that little shanty town.
Yeah, it's such a great balance of comedy and action, because like even the comedic scenes, for being a foreign movie, like it just translates so well. Like I was laughing so hard during the courtroom scene when the lawyer is trying to get like Jackie Chan to agree that yes, it is dark before the sun comes out.
Man, I like, and that's another part of the movie I just did not remember. In that lawyer giving his performance is just like absolutely incredible. Like he's got like the little miniature of the bus, and he's making him agree that he can only see one side of the bus at any one time.
And then the math of like, there's 88 buses a minute coming through this intersection, so visit any one of them.
That was hilarious. It's a good point that you made, Justin. It's like normally you would expect a lot of those like nuances, especially with something that's like we talk about comedy. It's like you'd expect a lot of that stuff to get lost in translation a little bit, and like maybe not really play as the same way as intended. But I feel like it just really worked really well, like on every level.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I kind of wonder how different the translation is of that, the recorded audio in the courtroom, like how different that is for the English subtitles than it translates to in Cantonese.
True enough. Yeah, maybe they fudged it a little bit.
Otherwise, like they made it work. Like it was absolutely hilarious. So It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but it just.
Yeah, because I was thinking that about when they had the recording of him, and it was like all like sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
like that. Maybe they must have like fudged the wording on that to make it work, because I'm sure it wasn't just a direct translation. Maybe it was though.
Yeah. The time I had watched this before, it was a dubbed version, and although I did find it funny, like I wasn't like laughing out loud at it. So I feel like there's still something with the delivery of the
for sure, delivery is huge
of the Cantonese speakers, and yeah, like I feel like with that phone gag where he's got like 7 phones or whatever.
You're right. That was brilliant.
That's gonna work even if you're watching with the sound off. Like
exactly,
it's still hilarious.
Some of the crimes were a little.
It's pretty
funny. You've been raped. Like, oh my god!
Yeah,
this is a comedic scene. Don't throw rape in the mix.
It's like the least funny crime.
Yeah, he just blows it off, and moves on.
But that's a great scene, and I mean, you mentioned the bus already with the courtroom, but how can we not talk about the bus scene?
Yeah,
oh, man. Yeah.
Well, because it goes right from demolishing that village to him chasing down that bus, like 2 incredible action sequences, one after the other, to start this movie. Like I'm struggling to think of an action movie that starts as strong as this one.
That's a good point. Yeah. No, I can't think of it.
And there's a whole like movie arc within that bus scene, because
right,
he gets on and off of it a couple times.
Yeah,
that's right. And oh man, just the fact that he's actually out there with an umbrella, shoes against the pavement. My God, this guy.
Right.
And in the credits, like Pete was saying, with the montage after, like there's the outtake of the bus where it was like millimeters away from just pancaking him.
He had to run away or he was gonna get pancaked. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, the the part that I kind of really appreciate too is when he's trying to climb in through the windows, and then the guys are trying to like
Right.
kick him, and he just like easily dodges and then slides into a different window. I just have to think, like, how long did that take to choreograph, and how many times did that take to actually get right?
Just
Yeah.
because it's so smooth and just looks so polished. It's like, yeah, to your point, like, I don't know if did they just practice it like so often, or do they just keep doing takes until it's right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably a bit of both, maybe.
Like it's going to start costing so much money. Like I remember reading for the department store scene at the end. Like he ordered some. I know in movies it's usually like sugar glass you use for the glass so it shatters, but he ordered some extra shattery glass from the States, I believe, for all of those scenes. So like if you screw up a take when you're throwing a guy through a display case,
that's true. That's some setup.
Spend the time setting it back up using this glass that you imported, and yeah, it's just wild.
Yeah, and they broke every piece of glass in that place, it seemed like.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, we've all read the book Last Action Heroes.
I was wondering if you're going to shout that out.
They go into like Jackie Chan's background quite a bit, and particularly like his trying to transition to American films.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the struggles he had was like just the way that American movies are made. Like, things are like, there's a production schedule, like, you know, today we are shooting this action scene, we have like 4 hours to get it or whatever, and that's why one of the reasons why he struggled so much kind of coming to America is because like the Hong Kong way, and like the way that Jackie Chan always shot was like, you know, we're gonna rehearse this until we get it right, and then we're gonna shoot it like 100 times, and then we're gonna use the best take of it until it's perfect. And then like basically like American movies are just never ever going to be set up to shoot that way.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. Well, no. He will admit himself, like, he is scared to do some of his stunts. Like, well, he'll hesitate a few times. By a few times, I mean, there was one stunt, I can't remember which one. It was one of the ones where he's jumping off a roof. But I think it took him like a few days to actually like work up the courage to jump off this roof. So yeah, you're right. It's not going to work with an American production schedule.
Yeah, was it one of the jumps in Police Story that was the case? That
I think after the movie, I had said that it was, but now going back, I should have just reread the bit in the book. Last Action Heroes, another shout out.
It is a great book. You guys should check it out.
Some of those royalty sales here.
Yeah. I forget which movie it was, but yeah, one of the roofs he jumped off.
Well, even in this movie, like right before he goes down the pole, like it's still stuck in it's still in the take where you see him psyching himself out, and then he just like shouts right before he jumps, and like it still works in with the character, right? Because the character's going to have to psych himself up to do this crazy thing, but like you can see like he's really scared to do this.
It's definitely real. That's a real reaction that he's giving you there.
Like, and I know it increases my appreciation of the movie so much, knowing that it's really him doing these things, and they're really dangerous. And like
that's what makes the difference, right? That's the thing.
Like I guess that's like a bad part of us as movie watchers, that like, you know, it is more exciting when like it's someone who can really get hurt, and like it's really exciting when, you know, there's like they're just filming danger basically.
Yeah,
I think it's just like that's human, right? It's like you can tell when something's staged, and you just automatically less interested.
Like we understand it's dangerous. We understand something you probably shouldn't be doing, but it's a commitment to the craft, right? Like you gotta respect the game.
game recognized game.
It's almost as well. It's like this guy's like a superhero. It's like he's doing things that people should not be doing or should not be able to do. Same like that.
His superpower is blatant disregard for his own life and luck, I guess.
Well, no, but also a lot of skill, right? Like a man's got skill.
Yeah, like in all of his movies, basically, it shows him as like a very competent fighter. Although like even some of these fight scenes, like the fight scene in the parking lot, where like immediately after like the staged assassination attempt. He's fighting like 8 guys, and he's like he's winning. He's beating them all, but it's like it's kind of just barely.
He's the best. He's the best at doing that. He makes it look like he's always the underdog in the fight, and he does get hit, and like it's almost like he's luckily like dodging at the last minute and just getting away with things. But it does that so well, where it just looks like he's sort of bumbling through a fight and just improvising as he goes, but like it's choreographed to within an inch of its life, and it's just such a skill that the guy can do that and make it look. It's not. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is fights. He takes as many hits as Rocky does, right?
And I guess I glazed over it, but another one of my favorite moments in the movie is when he gets his best friend on the police force to pretend to assassinate.
Such a funny scene, man.
When he invites
he's like,
Jason over.
Like at first when you don't know it's his friend, I was like, this guy's the worst assassin ever. Like, what's he doing? And he's like, oh, he's trying not to kill her.
I'm gonna get you. He's
like bouncing around the apartment with his stupid knife.
And like when he gets knocked out in the fight, and then Jackie just has to be supporting him the whole time.
It's like a Weekend at Bernie's thing.
Like honestly, like I was just laughing uncontrollably.
Yeah. Oh man, there's just so many. There's so many good parts of this movie. Like it's hard to remember because it comes right after the pole jump, like when he slides down the pole, but like the ending when he goes absolutely psycho, like the very last thing that happens in the movie is him like putting a guy in a shopping cart and kicking him away.
Oh god, what an ending.
Right.
It's just like, yo, we can't touch him, and then he just like beats the crap out of
them. It's wish fulfillment.
Yeah, it definitely is wish fulfillment.
It's like just kick him in the head.
It absolutely is, and it's just like, the book does describe it too, like how influential his movies were in Hong Kong, and just how like insanely popular this guy was. Like he wasn't just a movie star, right? Like he did music. He had women literally killing themselves because they couldn't be with him. This guy was a absolute star in Hong Kong before he came over, and that's why it's crazy how long it took him to like break that barrier.
Yeah, it took him like basically 3 different eras of trying to break it into America before he kind of broke it through with I guess Rumble in the Bronx is his American breakout, really.
What year was Rumble in the Bronx?
I don't know, was it like 1990 or something?
90, yeah.
Yeah, like I was thinking 92, but maybe it was a little earlier.
Yeah, I think that the time he had tried before that was like it was The Protector, right?
95, actually.
Seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, 95 is that late for Rumble in the Bronx? Eh? Because The Protector was 85.
Yeah, and I think there was even
pushes.
I think there was even an earlier attempt too. Because I think Police Story is like the immediate follow-up to The Protector, which didn't work, and then it's a great follow-up.
Yeah, well, Police Story is what started grabbing people's attention, right? Like I said, I could even in the it would have been mid 90s, I guess. Well, that was around when he was breaking out in the States. I'm trying to place when I found Super Cop in the store, like in the video store. Maybe it was around 95 after he broke out or something, because I can't see it being on the shelves before that.
Super Cop is like 93 or so, right?
I thought it was 95. I don't know. I'm getting all of this mixed up.
Was it before or after Rumble in the Bronx?
92.
92. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm doing some live Googling here. This is amazing.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew it had to be something. I didn't just know that off the top of my head. Because Quentin Tarantino has this list of like his 10 favorite movies that have come out since he first did Reservoir Dogs, and Super Cop's on the list.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Shout out from Tarantino, can't hurt.
Yeah, well, I like him. I don't want to start a beef with him.
I was gonna say I don't think I could pick him.
You know what? He's shit. and he's always
I can't get on board with his like I'm only doing this amount of movies, so I'm gonna just like cancel the one I was working on because I don't want it to be my last movie.
That's what it seems like. Like it really seems
I'm
like
not
that's
into
why
that.
he canceled it. Like, you know what?
That is
dude,
why I cancelled it. I think he admitted it.
just fucking do more movies. Like,
Do another one.
The guy says like old people can't make good movies, and yet he's got to walk that back, right? Because Scorsese just came out with two of the best movies he's
yeah,
ever
like
made.
it's really stupid. Like obviously, like some people lose it, but some people never lose it. So it's like a stupid thesis that he had when he was 30, and then
you don't have to put yourself in a box, man. Just change it up.
Yeah. And like his last movie was good. Like you still got it, Quentin. Just keep going, man.
And also, doesn't he only count Kill Bill 1 and 2 as one movie? So he's already making concessions.
I think it's fair though, because and I can't believe we're going to mention Harvey Weinstein for a second time. But it was Weinstein's decision to chop it up into two movies.
Right.
But he filmed just one movie, so I think it's fair.
He does show the full cut at his theater every so often, I guess.
Yeah, and the whole Bloody Affair.
Yeah, that's it. And you can find bootlegs of it. But
I would like to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, I was thinking about. I'm sure these two in no way support piracy, and neither do I. But there are sites where you can like order a copy if you really want a Blu-ray, you know. But as for him making more movies, it's just like, just do it, man. Just find yourself another actress with some feet you like, and just get her on screen, man.
Just cast yourself in. It's an extra sucking on him. You'll be fine.
Well, like,
anyway, how did we get on Tarantino?
Well, we can get it back on topic here, but because I think like for guys like Tarantino, like they clearly took inspiration from Chan as both a performer and as a director, and like you see his influence in American movies like all over the 80s and 90s. I think like the most blatant regarding this movie is like Stallone in Tango and Cash does the same same bus sequence where he fires a gun in the air and you know the bus has to come to a screeching halt and they fall out.
You're saying they ripped him off?
Yeah, like, well,
it's homage. It's homage.
Yeah, like it's so blatant. I don't think it counts as an homage, and it's just like 2 years after it too. Like it's
right.
it's not long enough for it to be like a
right.
an homage as a fan. Like, and he was already bigger than Jackie Chan. Like you can't
right.
You can't do an homage to lesser known filmmakers than yourself.
I guess it's just falling stealing at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, it is crazy because like all of these action stars did respect Jackie Chan, and you know, like they kept wanting to see him in the States, but it just happened so late. I don't know. And then the Rush Hour movies, by that time, I don't like Rush Hour. He wasn't big on the stunts as far as I remember.
Like in choreographing them?
Yeah, like there weren't as many, right? Like he wasn't. It's an American movie, right? He's not doing the same stuff.
Yeah, it was more like the fights were kind of like similar to his style, but no big stunts that would have required like, you know, a week of planning and shooting.
Yeah, I think I remember there being a lot more of like just a little cool like parkour stuff that he does.
Yeah,
it's like there's probably just like bread and butter to it. He's just like, I'll jump over a wall.
I guess Chris Tucker's a big baby and wouldn't agree to jump off anything.
Isn't there a scene where they jump off something?
I think there is, like, where they're holding on to like a banner or something.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's very much like a Hollywood style.
Yeah, it's I don't think anyone's
clearly like wires and them just going
Exactly. Yeah, that must have pissed him off doing stuff like that. Surely.
Yeah, it's like these people don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, it's like, what am I wearing this wire for?
I feel too safe risking my life like this.
The one thing I read that was pretty interesting about this movie is when he was writing the movie, and I did write down the Edward Tang, who is the co-screenwriter of this. The direction that Chan gave him for like how to write the screenplay was, I want there to be a big sequence with a bus. I want there to be, I want us to like run our cars through a small town, and I want there to be like a big fight at the mall and stuff like that. So like just like writing the script basically over like the stunts and the set pieces that he wants. I thought that's pretty interesting because listening to interviews with Christopher McQuarrie, it sounds like that's exactly how they build all of the new Mission Impossible movies is around like,
I was gonna say that's exactly what they do, right?
What cool shit do we have to do, and like how do we build a plot around this cool shit?
Yeah, it's like we need to direct the plot to a point where he has to jump up a mountain on a motorbike.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
We're definitely doing that.
I feel like in that instance it was a little contrived, but I think it
was a lot. More than most.
It usually works, like, you know, like going up against the side of the Burj Khalifa, right? Like I think it's like it feels really earned in the movie, though. Like obviously they went they went there to do that, right? Like
yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on this movie, guys?
I do want to shout out Maggie Cheung in this. Like, I think she's really good. And at the start, you think she's not going to be in it for very long because, I mean, they break up like immediately. Seemingly.
Poor May.
Or May. But yeah, she's great. I mean, she's so great in everything. Like, she's in all of Wong Kar-wai's stuff, right? Like,
yeah, like In the Mood for Love is like one of the best performances in any movie ever. She's great, and like honestly, like it took me a while to clock that it was her because she's quite young.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't even realize until you just said it that it was her. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
and yeah, that all like the straight comedy stuff of like him talking about his relationship with May and how like, oh, you know, she's got to come and apologize to me because I'm the man and this is what I expect.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, then just like pulling her off the scooter.
Oh my god,
great bit. Just like by the backpack, it was amazing.
And it's like the look of terror on both of their faces as he did it, and he clearly didn't mean to do it that much. So I came across a contemporary review for this movie by Vincent Canby of the New York Times. Have you guys seen this one?
I have not.
So like American critics did not really fully appreciate this movie when it came out. Like it's only kind of in the 90s that it got like the reputation it has now. But Canby described it as he described Chan as a more scaled down Oriental Sylvester Stallone with energy and a willingness to smile fondly at himself. And he said he did like the movie, but he described it as a principal interest as a souvenir of another culture. Like, what?
Oh God!
What a dick! Like that's
you're off to a bad start when you're describing a movie as too Oriental.
Yeah.
God. Wow.
Like, and it's just like, oh well, they're really trying over there in Hong Kong. Like how stupid are people? Like, because Hong Kong action movies really kind of taught, you know, American movies how to do action in the 90s.
Yeah, I think that's it's sort of xenophobic, right? And just like an unwillingness to see outside of Hollywood or outside of, you know, your typical sort of academy countries, right? Like, you know, France, UK, that kind of thing. Like outside of the Western sphere, just an unwillingness to believe that anything is good. I don't know. Maybe this guy had some good stuff to say about different Hong Kong action movies, but I feel
I wouldn't bet on it.
Probably doesn't.
So not from that little clip there.
And I feel like appreciation for Chan as a director, like rather than just like as a performer is a pretty recent thing. Like he's like directing the hell out of this movie. Like it's beautifully constructed. Like all of the set pieces are incredible. Like I feel like not many action movies are at this caliber.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say for sure.
Even though like the production values and all of that are different, obviously, it doesn't feel cheap in any way. Like you can tell there's so much care put into this, so much care put into every shot, and just it just feels so complete.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, me three.
So Justin, I don't know if you recall, but we rate things out of 6.5 on this podcast. Where would this land for you?
I would say, man, like you're saying recency bias and all that, and I think that's completely true. But
I know, right? It's on a hype and seeing it.
It is so good. So I'm gonna give this 6.5 second-degree burnt palms out of 6.5.
Whoa.
What?
Full marks.
Full marks.
I don't know if I go quite so high, but I'd say maybe a 6.25 out of 5. Like it's.
You never told me. Ugh. Have you ever given something a quarter star or whatever?
I think I did. I think I have.
I think you're playing it a little too fast and loose with your own system you arbitrarily made up.
Yeah, it does change pretty much every week anyway.
I think I've given something a 0.25 or a 0.75 before. Because it is hard. I'm trying to, because in my mind I'm like, what would this be out of 100?
I don't know why I'm mad, because it doesn't change the fact that I still would have rated it perfect.
Right.
Okay, that's fair. My only complaint is like at times, and really kind of like in the opening scenes at like the police headquarters is when I kind of immediately notices like the editing is very like jarring and a little choppy. But that's just only really in parts of the movie. Like all the action stuff's really well put together. So that's the only reason I'd say like not an entirely perfect movie.
Yeah, well, actually, now that you mention it, there were like the courtroom scenes. There are a couple scenes where it just kind of went blurry for some reason. I don't know if that was a transfer we were watching or what, but anyway.
No, that's because the jury was losing focus over was important.
Deeper meaning to it, Justin.
Some meta context.
Exactly. Yeah, it's okay.
All right, so Justin's a 6.5. I'm a 6.25. What are you thinking, Pete?
I don't know. Like I don't know if I'd go full 6.5, but I mean it's pretty close. So I don't know. I'll show you. Can I split the difference?
Yeah, do 6.38.
This is
somewhere in there, close to perfect, but
it's the worst rating system has ever been constructed.
Yeah, it's 6.38. Let's go with that. It works, Justin. Just go with it.
Sure.
All right. And any final thoughts on the movie, guys?
It makes me want to go back and watch all the rest, because like I say, there's a lot I haven't seen.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about revisiting Super Cop 2, or sorry, no, Police Story 2 and Super Cop. I've never seen Super Cop 2 or 3 or any of the other more recent ones.
Oh man,
didn't they do like a real recent Police Story?
Yeah, it's like 2013 or something. They rebooted it again. And I was looking at the ratings for it earlier, and it looks like it's supposed to be really bad.
Yeah, it looks like it was not a good move.
Yeah, well, I think it does. Yeah, make me want to go back and watch some more Jackie Chan. I was just on a Bruce Lee kick recently, but I think I might just prefer Jackie Chan's movies.
Well, they go down so much lighter, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like even like Bruce Lee's obviously a better martial artist. Jackie Chan's just like I don't know, just a great all around performer, stunt person.
Lots
Here's
to
the
choose
thing.
from.
If Bruce Lee wants a scene where someone gets kicked through the air, who's the guy actually getting kicked through the air?
Yeah, there you go. That's true.
Exactly. Yeah, bringing it right back around. Yeah. So, is that it then? Anything else to wrap up today?
The only other thing I wanted to mention is the guy who played his his police chief, like the lieutenant or whatever. Not the main guy who was in charge.
He looks so young. Is that the one?
Oh yeah, he was like 14.
I don't mean the chief of police who looked like he was 14 and he got the job because his dad was. I meant like his direct supervisor or whatever. Like
right. Okay. Yeah.
I was just gonna say like he's born to play the role of like a police sergeant. Like that guy was incredible.
Yeah, there's some guys who just have the look.
Yeah,
Right.
He has the look.
Yeah, like he looks like he looks like Sipowicz from NYPD Blue. Like he has that same kind of feel to it.
It's the same character, just supplanted.
Yeah, supplanted. Yeah. All right. Well, sounds like we're winding down our thoughts for the movie. Want to hear from all of you. Like, what do you think of Police Story? What do you think of Jackie Chan? What's your favorite Chan movie? What's your favorite stunts? Let us know at firstlookfinalwordpod@gmail.com. We're on all the socials. What director do you hate? Let us know who we should add to our enemy list.
And I'll pick
Director or governing party.
What countries can you just not stand?
Yeah, let's just like really whittle down our audience base here.
What's the thing? Like I love I love China. I love the Chinese people. Just don't like their government. And Jackie Chan liking them is kind of lame.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. Apart from maybe those 2 listeners that we had.
Hey, maybe they think so too.
Maybe. Maybe we'll have turned him around.
Okay, so what's our sign off for these classic episodes?
The classics. I don't know. Do we need a different sign off?
Is this also the final word?
Wow,
Could be.
What a classic episode.
Put it a classic word.
That's the classic word.
That's the classic word.